Welcome back to Microtopia. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with our little structured base. Thank you very much for your support. It's very interesting to see that there is an interest for this game, and I think that's super cool. And I've been playing a lot of this game sort of off camera just to try to understand and learn the game. I think I'm onto something here, but I also think that there are some things that are really complicated and takes a lot of overhaul. So what we're going to do today is we are going to be looking at our tech tree. We have the cast gate, which is amazing. This is just basically being able to filter on different kinds of drones or different kind of ants, which is super amazing. We also got a small digger ant, which we absolutely want. And then we want to set up a mining colony. Let's target that. And we also need the mining for the new track. This one we won't be able to get anyway, but the small digger ant uses small ants plus something scrap, I think, to make the diggers. And so that's going to be the first challenge here. That's going to be what we aim for. Like, our big objective is, of course, iron ants, but that's definitely not going to come through today. I'd also like to go out here because the pod worker ants are super amazing, but that requires copper and rubble and glass. So a lot of things need to be fired up again, or scaled up. What we want to do is we want to focus a lot on how to set up a second planet. I'm calling it planet, but it's not really planet. It is a second island efficiently. Now, if we look at this island, it has copper, it has this tier 2 energy pods, which is nice, but it does not have iron deposit. Or it has iron deposit, but it doesn't have iron gathering. This one has a massive amount, but there are 2 islands here, and this is where we want it. So honestly, unfortunately, we are gonna have to make this go somewhere else. Oh, hello, little one. You can just go in there. Why not? So we are actually making a few of these. This will just get us the objective here, collect copper. Once we get that, that is gonna get us over to the copper smelting there as well. So that's not really particularly interesting. I actually want to move this over here. This is basically infinite, so we're gonna be moving it. Let's see. Let's move it here. However, we also wanted to go back again, because actually I don't want to use my drones for anything except sort of flying back and forth. So that needs to be something like this. And then that gets a return pad over here as well, like that. However, they cannot be connected easily because this is not built. This requires 2 iron plates. So what I actually need to do is I need to make 2, and then I bring the iron plates over so that when I spawn a drone, I'll get 1 iron plate over. And that I'll just do by going like this, and then saying you are going to be connected to the iron plates. There we go. That's the iron plates. Yes. So the next 2 of these I create will bring an iron plate over, and then we get the loop back and forth. So now my drones are flying in. There's 1 drone here, and there's... Was there a next one? No. There's just 1 drone here. Okay, so the first drone coming in, and the second drone is coming in here. That will bring the second of these. And that means now I do not want this one to be assigned to anything. It's actually funny. I can't do that without disabling it. But we're going to be still having this one because you're going to be picking up something else afterwards. So what goes over here? It lands, goes into the stockpile that will then be assigned. And then it goes over and mines a little bit of iron, because we do need a little bit of iron done over here before we can go back, and we got 50%. So once the second one comes in, we have a loop out here. And that means we can actually use the new gate that we have, the cast gate. That is the one here. Cast gate, then that can be just basically go back and then say, if you are a drone, go back. And then now we can actually establish a loop here. Maybe I do want it. No, actually I don't. I want them to be going back and forth. Good. So this location, I can't, for some reason, I can't change this here to nothing, to just being like, can I do it like that? Yeah, okay. So that just means that it's open for things. This one is not assigned, so I'm going to be sending it back here. So now I have a loop, and then I can just basically go here, here. And what am I going to do on this location? I'm actually going to be putting in a lot of... Oh, yeah, okay. This way... It's such a weird way that they've decided to do this kind of thing where you can't... You place it and then rotate it. It's such a weird decision. I can't imagine anyone in their right mind would think that's a good idea. So, but anyway, that's how it works. So now there is a loop here. What happens now is that since this here is set to 1, then it'll just send 1 in, go over here, and then it'll be basically an infinite amount of drones. We do not like this. I can't make a finite amount of drones here. That just doesn't work like that. So what I can do, maybe, is make a line out here that goes across and goes in here. Now, the question is then, which one will they go on? Because if they go on the top one, then it's going to be a problem. But now it actually monitors all of this area, which means it also monitors all the stuff that's coming back. So as soon as they come back, they are part of the process. There. So now it's closing off because now we have one that's here. This is kind of a way for me to block it off, and I think it kind of works. We'll keep doing this one. And we're still struggling with the 75. That's because we do not have enough drones here to actually get enough of this. And we can use the carry gate again. Carry gate is super amazing for this kind of thing. There's also another way of doing this. Yeah. So you can see they are kind of stuck here. There is another tech that we can get. And let's try to see where that is. Facility, resin, casing. Here, and then we get the slinger. Slinger is behind the casing and the resin, so you'd think that you need to do resin and casing first, but actually not. The slinger is a kind of storage, and what it does is it actually allows you to basically go anywhere here, and then, does it build? Yes. Then target directly over here. That means it can throw into locations, which is great for stuff like this, where you actually have like a long walking path, and then you can kind of skip on some of the walking path by the fact that when they go by here, they will actually already throw it out, which means that something like this path wouldn't even be that interesting. Let's see how it works. So I just bounce it in. It's not fast, actually. Oof, that sucks. Yeah, that actually kind of sucks. I mean, it's nice and all, but it's kind of blocking everything else from working. Alright, they're going onwards. Yeah, not so keen on that, actually. Well, it's an option. We have it, but I don't think this is the right place to make it. I think that carry gates, in this case, are better. So they're going to go up here. Right, but there is one place where they are absolutely valuable, for sure. Hey, look at that, we got one in. And you're coming back. Okay, so what do we need to do now? Now we need to incubate some mining lava over on the other island. You're just going to be continuing to get stuck here until you run out. Please don't run out before you're actually doing it. Yes. So I'm actually going to say this is hooked up to our lava storage, which is good. It will, however, mean that we will get way too many lava over there eventually, but it might work. It might work. So we'll get lava over here. That means over on this side, we are going to have to get some place where we can drop off lava. This is not needed right now. Instead, we are going to make, say, they are coming in. Where are they coming in? Population. They are going to be put into some of that and that. And now you can see why it was so important. There. So it goes up here and drops these off. And as you can also see, this is why we wanted to get some of these done. And we got the copper collected. Great. That gets us... that's not a thing we want to do. Copper! Yay! Which gets us to wire. Not really very interesting, but we get the wire at least. Then we'd like to get rubble. And we'd like to get glass. But that's that means we need to make the miners. But let's focus on this build first. You can see here. Yay, it works. So I am going to say here and go in. So at this point, we are actually now getting a lot of the small ones now. That is a pretty consistent and pretty quick, actually, going back and forth. And we'll be having a lot of small ones now. Great. So what is it we want to do here? Well, we want to make... Let's go back here at home and build one of these. One more of this assemblers, because that's how we change our builds, or combiners, assemblers. Let's make that here. We're not going to make it, but we are just going to see what it requires. That is the small digger drone. That means we need screws and we need small workers. So, small workers, screws are the ones we need. Now, we have a challenge, a question, a conundrum, if so. And that is, are we going to make screws and plates to make walls, to make floor plans and iron blocks and everything on this one? Or are we going to transport it over? And if we're going to transport it over, then we can do it either with this one here, or there's also another option, and that is using the slinger that we just had a look at. And if we place a slinger like right there, and now I'm a little bit fortunate because this is the way that my my setup is built here, how it just so happens to be... seriously, that idea is bad. There, slinger, target. It doesn't reach much further than this. If you see here, that is basically the range that it has. So we can just barely get over there. That means I can actually bring things in, and they can just have a little loop here that goes around and shoots this, which means... honestly, I can take some of this out here. And this one as well. I'm going to kill that. There. And then I have room for something over on this side. Right. This is the simplest way to get things over. Unfortunately, well, this stockpile will actually, unfortunately, have to be many different types of stockpile. And there will be some kind of manual process here. Are you dead? You're almost dead. You'll get a few more copper. But the thing is, we can actually move this somewhere else, because this is the same island. So, for example, I can place a dispenser, and I can place this dispenser over here, for example. Or, more likely, since stockpiles are free, I can more likely just actually make a giant stockpile of random crap here, for all the things that we are going to be transporting just a little bit of, because you can only have a single location. What does that mean is that, let's say, if I want to make some small mining drones over here, because I do need to set up the mining colony, mine the scrap from a different location, so that means I need mining drones. In order to make mining drones, I need screws, so we need also miners. The screws, we need that for the miners. So how do we get miners from this? And let me see. You are going to be retired and go over to that one, so you can sort of spend that time. There is no way for me to block off how many are coming in, except sort of at some point just say, I probably have enough. Look at how many I have. This is absolutely disgusting. I really need to not build more. Let's see. I have one here, but I don't know. I have too many. Yeah, nothing is coming back yet. Let me think. What is it I want? I want actually some to go up here to throw into that one. Can I do that? I can kind of use the same one. I don't know if that's smart, but I can do that. So you can go here and then over there. But in between that, you need to have that one. Actually, that's not great, because yeah. Okay. What are we gonna send off? We're gonna send off more plates. We don't have a lot of plates. Ugh, that sucks. Well, we're gonna send off those plates. So when it comes in, it'll throw a plate over, bounce, that plate becomes available here. And it also becomes available so that if we want to make, for example, that one, let's see, is that the same direction as the other one? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna keep that direction just for, I don't know, for no reason. There. And does it build? Yes, because it then draws from that storage over here. So that's kind of the fastest way I can do this. Good. One thing though is It looks like they are keeping on this path and not going on that path. But if I look at this gate, and it does not include the entirety of the path, which sucks. But if I, and now this becomes a little bit annoying. If I do this here, it does, right? Yes, it does. But they should not be going around here anyway. There. But now it will be blocked off and nothing more will come in. I can't figure out a better way to do this. If you do, then let me know in the comment section below. So the first thing we want to make with our new build here is actually a revised version of what we have back home, the main path, you could say. And this one is going to be an improved version. Of course, it's going to be an improved version. And like that. No. There. I'm going to be revising the old one as well, so it works. So why do we do this? This means that now I want to have anything that comes in just going in on this path. Great. And then I'll be able to guide it over to different path where I need it. That's going to be here. I'll just use the counter gate because that's the one I like. And here's another thing that you can do. If you want to be a little bit cheeky, you can also build these out and then just delete them, build stuff on them and delete them afterwards. So you only leave sort of this as a runway, which looks amazing, but and it's a little bit, it's saving resources for sure. Good. So that goes over here, and this one has a gate of, let's say 3. We want to get 3 over there to work. And then I would also just do the same thing as I've done for the other things. The good thing about this is that pheromones, these pheromone trails are they're not just cheap, they're free. So now we have a pretty simple little setup here. What we need to do now is figure out that if I want to make the assembler, then I need plates, I need screws, and I need fiber. So that's just going to be an absolute atrocious pain in the ass to get that over here, just to make sure that we get it. We can also harvest some of these ourselves. This is, for example, plumber tree that can be done with cutting, and the small ones, can the small ones do cutting? No, they cannot do cutting. So I would need to upgrade them anyway. So what I need to do is actually stop sending things over, like this one. Let's just flip it there, so it doesn't connect, because I don't want to send any more small ones over right now. I could, this is mine scrap, so I don't need to collect it if I need to mine it anyway. And we now have our build ready here. This one will make small digger, and that means I need screws. That means this one is actually getting the screws, so I'm going to be putting that up here. That means we now have the screws, a little bit at least. We can also get the flying lava. What was that actually heading towards? I don't even know what that... Oh yeah, counter end, let's take that. I think that was the flying lava. So the next one is the mining colony, not that we really need it. But then getting some glass mining and some... What is it? Glass and copper mined. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take any old ones here. And then what we need to do, and so this is now potentially becoming a little bit problematic or a little bit more challenging, because the usual thing I would do is just say, whoops, from here, I would say just counter, take 1. But can I guarantee that it's only going to be small workers here? No, I can't. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that. So I have to do things a little bit more complicated. I have to do a cast gate first. This one will then go out here, which will then say, okay, only small workers are allowed to go in here. And then if there's a small worker, then you're allowed to go in here. If that's not a small worker, then if you're a small worker but it's not necessary, then just go back on the path and continue. It's a little bit cumbersome with these kind of things, but that's kind of how it has to be in this case. And of course we run out of everything so far. So that, because that means what I can do now is I can set you and then basically send you back onto the main line. That's not the main line. Because I want to have a single set up here, and that means now the small miners will also go here. And that means, for example, this one will then branch out, but I don't want to send miners out here. I really only want to send the small workers out here. So, actually, do I even want to send anything out here? No, not really. I think I'm actually not going to use this for now. So, let's clean that up. But then I'm going to say small miners will go down here to mine some glass, for example. Or is there any other glass in this location? Yeah, there's some glass over here. That's far away. Let's mine this glass first. Okay, so let's do the same thing over here. First, we're going to do a cast gate here that says, are you a small mining drone? Small digger, that's what it's called. Yes. And if you are, how many do I want on this sub branch? I don't know. Let's take 3. Yes. And if I already have 3, then you go just from here, go back again. It's a little bit weird to do this, but I think that's kind of how I have to do it. And then we use these null tracks to go down here. Yeah. And then you set up a mining path for this, which is a little bit complicated. Can I even get 3 on this one? Because miners have to be going in like this and then go out. Going in like this and go out. And going in like this. No. That's good enough. And then go out. And there. And that means I can get a branch here, here, and here. Which will then be the null path going in. And then the mining path goes... We need to, of course, set it into a box. Like that. And that will be... happy. Good. So this little branch here will have 4 or 3 glass mining locations, which will help us achieve that one. Is it working now? No, it's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, let me see. It's not working because we don't have that. Do I have a timer gate? Timer gate. Now we do. We are going to be making a timer gate over here because I do not want this one to be active all the time. So I'm going to need to do something else. This could actually just be placed down here. Good. And yeah, I don't want all the ones that go past to always go past here. I want it to be open only for a certain while. So I'm going to do like this. And some of them going into that location will have to be timer gate. So timer gate, this is only open sometimes. And then if it does, then it goes in here. Right. What does this timer go mode? Mode is after X minutes, after X seconds. So each of these drones, small digger, yeah, this is how I want to maintain. So when I set up this part, it will dictate how many I have over here. So this will only be open. Now I don't know exactly how it works. After 30 seconds, that means every 30 seconds I can send another one over. That means that if I have 5 minutes of work time, then that means it will maintain a population of 10 over there. Round numbers. That seems about right. Let's try this and see how that works. We've also just noticed that we are not really producing more of these. So let's try and force something in here. Yeah, okay, it's coming in here. That is... Ah, okay, there is one sending screws over and it died. So that should be sending another one in here. Perfect. There we go. That's good. And I am going to send you in here no matter if you want it or not. There we go. So we get at least some of those flying back and then it goes up. Oh, this is so cool. This is exactly what I wanted because it looks like it now counts and then it will open for one going in here. Oh, that's so cool. That's brilliant. That's exactly what I want. Great. So I don't know how many of these shards I have. I have 20, which means I can make 20 more of those miners. So let's go over here and see if that makes sense. Right, we are going to be, it's going to take a little bit of time for us to actually get it because they need to incubate, then they need to sort of go out, become old, or maybe I'll just exceptionally take one that isn't really an old one and send it in here, just so we get one going here. So here we have the first little digger drone here, and it'll go out here, and then it'll be identified as a digger drone. It'll identify that it needs to go out here, and then it works. Great, and the other one, the next digger drone is coming here. I am going to force feed you in here, because right now I'm farming them, or I'm taking them from the old track, and I should be taking them from the new track. So that goes down here, and that means we should just start getting some glass being produced. Then we might as well set the same thing up over here for the copper mining part. And so the copper is also setting up now. That is really nice. Things are progressing. I am going to force these in here, because otherwise they'll have to wait until they're old, because I'm not really sending them to anything else. Right, this is good. Now what I want to do is I want to actually process the scrap and the copper and the glass, because copper and glass can only be found on the desert island. So we want to set up a little bit of a build for this. So we have a really nice little base out here. We just completed the glass collection, which will be popping, and the mining colony is also done. So pop that as well. What does that give us access to? It gives us access to actually research glass. It gives us access to, okay, rubble is going to be the next one. And then after we get glass, we can get a large stockpile that's expensive, or a light bulb. We'll get the light bulb, which gets us up here to a pot worker ant. And then after that is another one, which we don't have money for yet. So collecting rubble is another one, but if we just look at this, I am going to say you are now going to be coming in with glass from that one. I'm actually going to retire the other glass, I think. Maybe not. It's actually nice to just have something here. I just really wanted it to be able to put into the same thing. Yeah. So maybe you're gonna be there. There you go here, and then you can go there as well and send it over and delete. Perfect. I am currently not doing any other things here. This one will just have one. There we go. I'm not bringing the retired or the old miners back, because they are, I don't have anything to do with it. I can use a recycler, but I can't afford it. We also have a nice population as well. Good. So this will now be activated. I want 2 in here. Let's see if we can get 2 in here. They will be filtering in. Small worker, yes. Small worker, yes. And they go in, and then they start making glass. Perfect. Good. So we now have glass. We now have copper. What we can then do is we can then say it over on this side. We can then try to get it back. And I want to just show how that could be done. That could be done by saying, well, we're going to be getting 2 locations, and then they will be here and here. And then I'll get, that's going to be 1, and that's going to be the second one. And you are going to be getting the copper, and you are going to get the glass back. There we go. So once these are coming over, then they're going to be taking a piece of glass and flying it back. And then when we go back to our original base over here, then I am going to say you will actually be a copper build. You will be, that's weird that this one is like that. So we'll just change it into glass. The ice cubes, there we go, and they'll be thrown somewhere else. And then this one will eventually become something else. So we'll just leave it as empty so that it'll pick up whatever comes in. Here we go. Oh, that's funny. Oof. That's really not what I want to do. But they are also not taking that out. No stockpile assigned, that's good. This one will not be sending them back. Okay, so it actually works. And then you can see some of these are not going. And then if I have something, I keep it in loop for this. So what we've now done is we have now set up over here, a nice little base. It works quite well. What I really need to do is there. Funny how. Oh, you have a little glass shard. Really, you shouldn't have a glass shard, should you? Ah, that's because I'm actually linking it from the wrong place. I should be linking it from here. Because it has to be after it drops it off. That's why this one has gotten stuck, because it's actually stuck with an ingredient that shouldn't be there. Good. And that's why the other ones don't get converted. We have how many? We have about 10. No, we have, yeah, 10 workers over here. That's not much. And that is kind of attributed if you look at Ants Global. Nice. I have 10 drones. That's kind of nice. And they are just going back and forth. And somehow, what is that? They're picking up the lava? Why are the lava not being dropped off then? Oh yeah, they really shouldn't be going around. You're gonna find. Alright, well they just take another trip around it. That's fine. That's fine. There'll be just warning here, but nothing else. It'll go in. It will go in here, and then it will fly off. Good. So this thing here is kind of working. I think I can even set it down to 15. That means in theory, if there was one coming in every 15 seconds, then I would have a total of 20 over on the other island, which I think is a nice amount. So I think that that's enough work for us today on setting up a new island. It's a little bit complicated to set up a new island. I think this is a pretty good way. I mean, it's not the bestest of best ways. That is also bothering me why I don't have any ice cubes or glass cubes. Why are you not working? You are not working because you're not sent to glass cubes. There we go. So, glass cubes. Great. Pick up. Go in. Good. And we're gonna need more in here. So, keep them flowing. And that is... see, that's still a problem here. Let's get you in here. That was a... That is a glass cube, right? It must be. Yes. And it works. Alright, so I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope that this makes sense. Now we got the digger and we got the drones flying back and forth. We got it actually optimized, or not optimized, but at least automated how it works between these. And we have sort of a stable production over here. And we'll do a little bit of tweaking just to make sure that it doesn't get too much, but also that it maintains. Trying to maintain like 10 drones back and forth seems like a really nice number. It's really hard to control that because of all the different conditions. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to basically take a look at this. The pod ants are going to be something we want to do in the next episode. And then we'll work our way up towards some of the other cool things. Maybe get a... Where is it? There's like scanning this on Floral Island. Maybe scan that as well. And then kind of move up towards the worker ants, because we need to get the ant launcher. So we do have some things here. We need to scan for a jungle island, which is what we do with the floral one that scans the jungle island. And then go up here towards the iron ant to progress our mission. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and following the series. Be sure to leave a like and a good comment below if there's something you're missing, something that's not explained, something you have a better solution to for stuff that I have built here. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.